there. And yeah, just need to slightly run out the horns, the hair, experiment with the backgrounds a little bit more. Like I still feel like I don't know. I'm kind of don't really have much of an idea on what to do with the backgrounds. I played quite a lot with the border of it, except for removing the border because I do think that like this inner box is quite important. So it's like her hair is transparent. So yeah. Not a trouble. Yeah, I'm not sure what the highlights is. I could also add like a highlight on the leg, I guess. But then I feel like it would distract a little bit too much. But yeah, for the most part, uh, I think I'm happy. I don't know. Let me quickly get another view. There. And yeah, I already also did quite a lot of the cleaning, like just in case. Because I didn't really use a bucket tool or anything like that. So there were quite a lot of parts where it wasn't clean at the edges and stuff. I kind of cleaned that up last night as well. But yeah, I should be able. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish it tonight, today, whatever. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys have been doing well. I do still have the spotlights backed up just in case I do want to put them on, but I don't know, I like this too. And then, to be fair, I do need to figure out what to do for horns, because she has, like, kinda crystalline horns with some iridescence to it. Which I have no idea how to convey in a convincing manner. But I guess that's what today's stream is for. But yeah, honestly, I did not expect to have this much fun with it. Because, I don't know, it's like a... As I said before, it's not something or like a way that I usually draw. I think I might also just be really enjoying not having to draw like a full-on illustration with a fancy-ass background. Because backgrounds are fun, and they can look pretty, but Jesus Christ, I'm so done with backgrounds for now. Hello, Huntsman. Looking fantastic, thank you. Hope you've had a good day. Yeah. I mean, I get up pretty late, so I didn't do too much today except for like chores. But yeah, I guess I'm fine overall. I hope you've also been doing well. And hello, Spelly. Beauty, yes. I'm really happy with how it's turning out, honestly. Not gonna lie. Ignoring the fact that I did not know that her hair thing at the top here is supposed to be a heart. That's on me. Let's see. How's the thing going? I think it's going fine. I mean, I just started for today. Should also actually be able to finish everything today, I think. Hopefully. But yeah. So it's 100% official. I buy. Man, I wish. Unfortunately, I'm not sponsored. we're barely half an hour into a stream and we're already back to the running gag. Well, and fixing fix stuffs. Giving free select ticket. Yeah, I saw that actually. Can't wait. Then it's just soft cutting the same joke over and over again. I mean, you know, some jokes they get better the more often you say them. Yeah. Manifesting sponsors, I wish. I'm trying to figure out how to give her horn kind of texture this. That's what I'm saying. We gotta get Aqua sponsorship with them. I mean, I could imagine it being quite fun. Like as I said, I'm actually enjoying this quite a lot. Even though it's just me trying to imitate it or figure out how to do like the Shaker Cup designs and stuff, but yeah. That's fair, but just saying, absolutely love it. Thank you. Would you work with gamer subs whoever if they came to you? Yes. I did actually get contacted by gamer subs years ago. Now, unfortunately, back then, where the dark times of gamer subs, where it was owned by like some red pill weirdo, and they paid pretty poorly back then. Did this net die? Yes. Holy, it died. German internet. Like, it's dead. Like, I'm supposed to have up to 10 megabits of upload. I usually have 7. I need 3 to stream, and I'm having half right now. And it's not coming back. It's actually dropping down to 0.4. Dude, I'm only 8 to 9 seconds behind, if it means anything. Yeah, the issue is just I have adaptive bitrate. Like, it's trying to compensate by reducing, like, the you're probably just seeing pixels, but at least it's not delaying. But the thing is, I'm also not moving the screen right now, which means as soon as I start moving, it's just not gonna work. It is also not coming back. It's, yeah. I'm sorry about the internet. Nah, it's... I like to say it's fine, but it's incredible that a fucking first world country, aka Germany, in 2026 does not even have stable copper cables. Like, I have a hybrid connection. Like, it's supposed to connect over like radio and the copper cables, which means that technically, if something goes wrong, there should always be the base connection through the copper cables, which is at least 2 megabits of upload. I'm not even getting that. Like, the entire internet is lying. Not to start ranting about the internet again, but it's not coming back, so I might actually just have to say, fuck it, we're ending stream right here. Which would be a pain in the ass. Because I do want to finish a drawing, but I want to finish the drawing on stream, but internet. Wait, did I? I know that getting a sponsor is nice, but we're gonna manifest better internet for now. Thank you. It might be coming back. It's crawling back. We're at 1.5, 1.9, 2, 2.1, 2.9? Never mind, 2.4. Gonna go home now, please remain so be good to my dear economy. So have a safe trip back home. German internet is going out again, I see. Yeah. 2.999. I think it's back. Seems to be back. Technology not working can be really frustrating, that's fair. Not to start ranting about my issues with Germany in particular, but holy shit, dude. Like, I've been fighting with Telecom, the internet service provider, for like literally years at this point. We're supposed to have optical fiber since like 2022 or some shit like that. So much for that. 720p and 6 seconds delay now. Yeah, it should have recovered by now. The bitrate seems to be stable. But yeah, it's just... dude. Especially like... kind of fitting that I'm drawing Rosebell. She's also having internet issues as well. It might be something like German White with Telecom. Wait, I don't think she's with Telecom. It might just be German White that the internet sucks. But yeah, it's just like... I don't know. And like, as far as I've heard, it's not better with the other ISPs. Like, Rosebud, I think, has a different ISP than me. I have good old Telecom. Then there's fucking O2 having ads on the radio of like, if you apply with them or you get like a router through them, you get ChatGPT Premium. Which, insane incentive. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for ranting. I think I can get back to drawing. Fiber internet, so that was a lie. Dude, the worst part is, I just before the stream checked, because I was curious if I can literally like show on stream which parts of Germany actually have optical fiber internet and which parts don't. The thing is, Telekom, pardon my French, Telekom, these absolute cunts, are faking the data on the maps about like the internet availability. They're straight up claiming that my entire village has fucking gigabit optical fiber, which is the biggest fucking lie imaginable. No one here has internet fiber. Zero. I'm actually incredibly surprised that they're not getting sued over that shit. Because that's like... I'm surprised how that doesn't count as fake advertisement or like faking of statistics or whatever. But yeah. Anyways, sorry. I can just send them a very strongly worded letter later. Yeah. Then they promise to set up optic fiber, carry very much. I mean, they always do that of like, yeah, we'll start putting the cable down in March. Then you call them in March. Yeah, some delays. It's in June now. And then they just keep delaying it that way. Like, there's no point in even listening to them. Ranting is a good yep. Especially because it sounds like they're being beans about the internet. Yeah. But I also don't want to like be too negative on stream. And I don't know, I've seen enough streams by like German streamers where it's literally, common knowledge or like the running joke about the German internet and stuff, but yeah. Whatever. Anyways. I hope you had a good weekend. Weekend? I can't even speak now, man. I hope you had a good week so far. I've just been kind of drowning in chores. But yeah, I'm just really hoping I can finish a drawing today. As I said, I just need to render out the horns. Try and have them look somehow shiny. And then just work on the hair. Ah, right, the background I forgot to show. So, as I said, I try to kind of keep with a leitmotif of like stars, moons, and what's the entire field called again? Cosmology? I think that's the wrong word. I'm pretty sure that's the wrong word. But yeah, I also try to like experiment a bit more with the composition. Like we're having a huge ass moon, but to be honest, I don't think most people are gonna recognize it as a moon, which is why I made it so tiny. But it would add a lot to the composition, so I'm not sure. And yeah, I've always also experimented with like the border, having it irregular, adding like I tried something. I don't think I kept it around, but I tried to make it look like a tarot card, like with proper like a card border. And I have to say I didn't quite like the way it looked. It looked a bit too much like a like an actual like tarot card for V card or something like that. I can never see either or sizes. That's my first things for those. Okay. Thanks for letting me know actually. I don't know, maybe I can like turn it. Nah, should be fine. Whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I can finish it today. We'll just need to add my little sensor later because Twitter already tested it's detecting it's detecting something and marking it as an SFW, and yeah. Actually, I've also seen like the wildest like little sensors that some like artists use to get around the NSFW detection. Because like the thing is, I wouldn't mind our voice. It sucks that most of Europe then can't end up seeing the drawing, which is like most of my audience too. Like I've seen everything from like people literally adding like a transparent face of Elon Musk on certain parts. And it actually works, which is like the funniest thing about it too. Correct me if I'm wrong, I assume you're drawing her like she's walking out of the rectangle box, right? And not specifically walking out of it, but it's something they like a lot of the Shaggy Cup designs have, that the characters are kinda inside of it, with certain parts reaching outside of it for like more depth to it. I mean, technically, this wing probably shouldn't be inside of the box. But if it would put it outside of the box too, it would be way too big to fit inside of the printable area, or what I think is the printable area. Like, this just a bleed. But her wing is pretty long, so it would reach also her screen. But you know, it adds like quite a lot of like depth to it to have parts sticking out. I have seen like other cases too, where the characters do actually interact with the border, like where they actually sit right on the edge at the bottom. So, you know, it just depends like what you want to do with it. I didn't even think about that for the NSFW tag, about it getting blocked in most of Europe. Because yeah, that's like an issue. Quite a lot of the Japanese artists that draw a bit more of the sussier stuff I've been having, that most of Europe doesn't see the art anymore. Which is quite unfortunate. Yeah. May I ask, what if some little part of middle down feather blends out of the line? You mean like here, for example? Maybe, actually. Ah, that's actually a good point, yeah. I could try that. Not right now. I want to quickly do the horns before I get distracted again. But yeah, I could definitely try that. Yeah, I forgot that it gets blocked. Yeah. It is quite brutal, not gonna lie. I mean, it depends on like where most of your audience is from too. Like, I think my audience overall is pretty diverse. For some reason, two of my last drawings really popped off with Spanish speaking people in particular. Don't really know why. And I'm also not sure, like, I don't know. But yeah, I, for example, noticed that, like, if one of my drawings gets flagged as NSFW, it does so fucking poorly. Like, we're talking usually, I don't know, something like 30 views in an hour instead of in a minute. It's that bad. For me, at least. Like, you can still look at that stuff from Europe, but to see it, you have to actually click on the profile, go to media, and it's not censored there, or not like marked as NSFW there for some reason. But most people are not going to take all of those extra steps, especially people that don't know you. So yeah, it just absolutely kills your post. Would be longer, but you're a little sneak. I'm I'm sorry. And it's not really me being a little sneak, it's more like the German internet is dying. I had like one stream where I was only live for like 10 minutes before I realized, yeah, the internet is not gonna handle a stream right now. Sorry. But also welcome, see ya. And hello, Meep Meep. 15 stream streak. Damn. That makes sense. Like the extra effort just see something, yeah. Yeah. Like I only go through the effort if I actually know the artist. Because otherwise, dude, I tried to scroll through Twitter and I would just spend like more time just clicking through profiles to see what I want to see. It's kinda ass. Also because they still, after like all of these months, have not introduced a way to actually verify your age. It just says somewhere in the help section that they will eventually, if you're not a Twitter Blue user and whatever, but they still haven't introduced anything. But yeah, anyways. How can I make her horn shinier? Wait, oh my god. Hang on, I just realized how I can... I just realized how I can censor the booba. Beautiful. But I could even... Hang on, I need to rest Rice. Perfect. Da Vinci. Modern problems require modern solutions. Why are you censoring? It's just for a joke right now, but I probably will when I post later, because otherwise, I've already tested on a second account. It does consider the drawing, Twitter, I mean, does consider the drawing as NSFW. And that absolutely kills the reach. And, you know, not even from like a social media perspective or whatever. I'd like the people that follow me and that like my art to see my art, which is my main issue. So I'm probably gonna have to cover her up a little bit. Okay, I'm thinking, what if I... I also realized I can use the halftones quite a lot more to add depth and all of that. But yeah. Glad we don't have UK-like rules. I mean, it's not just an issue for the UK, but they blanketed that for all of Europe, or most of Europe. I think Switzerland is fine, because not European Union. But yeah. Internet. Ooh. Actually, I don't know what I did, but I do remember just like very recently that I saw that there's actually papers now on the topic of specifically people like me, like artists that have to, that are impacted by the NSFW detection stuff. Like there's actually a paper about that I saw. And they basically came to a conclusion of like, yeah, it's kind of increases anxiety in those artists. It has negative impacts and expression of creativity and blah blah. Also, a lot more like implications on, you know, freedom of expression and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would have been some marking sense, yeah. I'm not sure if they went back on it in the Netherlands, but I have not been hit with censoring. Huh. I hope they eventually remove that shit. Because I still have it in full force here in Germany. Like, when I scroll through Twitter, like, there's still quite a lot of NSFW marked stuff. Well, like, as I said, I tried destroying on a second account that I just have for, like, posting and seeing if it gets flagged or not. And yeah, destroying gets flagged. Which is kind of stupid, not gonna lie. I did all of that on the wrong layer. No. I'm working with 4 colors, i.e. 4 layers, and then 1 layer for halftones, and I still managed to fuck it up the entire time, man. Copy to new layer, I cannot. Because it's inside of each other. That sounds a bit whack. It's whatever, I can very quickly redo that. It is time for me to sleep with one stream. Thank you. Sleep well. Thanks for dropping by. Actually, speaking of gamer subs earlier, I swear to God, at this point, it feels like every single content creator that I do watch or have ever watched, everyone has a code with gamer subs. And especially after certain happenings with a competitor recently, dude, they have a monopoly at this point. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Like, genuinely, I saw a video recommended today on YouTube by a content creator that I used to watch a lot, but haven't in quite a while. It's just, I'm not that interested in GTA 5 anymore. But I saw a video recommended by them, and it's them trying all the GamerStop's flavors and ranking them, because they also have a code now. And they have like nothing to do with VTubers at all. Also, like, completely unrelated. There's like a YouTuber for The Binding of Isaac, which is like a very popular roguelike game. And even they got a fucking gamer subs code. Kinky. God damn it. Mm-mm. Do people actually buy gamer subs? Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would be as big as they are nowadays if people didn't actually buy gamer subs and V cards and such. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm also not part of the audience that actually buys it. Although I do have to say, for me, it's mostly because I don't have the spare income. And to be fair, like with V-cards, for example, I'm just not a collector really. Although, okay, hang on. The reason why I'm not a collector is I don't like collecting things right now because I have the mindset of I'll move out soon anyways, so I should have as little as possible right now, which is connected with me not having that much spare income. But yeah, the gamer subs flavors and such. I mean, I can't speak for. They have ramen too, if I remember correctly. I can't speak on those things, but I have tried it. Like, if you get the shaker cups, they do have samplers in them and such. And I mean, you need to kind of be into those drinks. I can totally see how it's not something for everyone, but I honestly like them. I wouldn't drink them too much because I get flavor fatigue pretty quickly. I'm not sure if that's the best way of describing it. But like for artificial flavors, I very quickly get kind of about it. I've bought it before, but shipping is so expensive and takes quite a while to arrive. Yeah, that's also like the other issue if you're not from the US. But sometimes the codes actually give you free shipping. So use code never mind. I don't have one. Yet. Use code I don't know. Yochi. Wait, I can't remember what her code. I'm not entirely sure if I'm tripping, but I'm pretty sure I remember that one of her codes was also something with like not pregnant or something. Because one of the drawings that she made kind of made it look like she's pregnant, like as advertisement, I mean. But I can't quite remember. What if I get sponsored and I just decide to get the code MPreg? Actually, that would be bad. Because I would actually then keep saying it, but people will just assume that I'm joking. I'm not Prego. No. And if I was, or if I ever would be, you're the dad. So child alimony, please, thank you. Code Wide Among Us gay sex. I mean, that's probably too long, unfortunately. Stick to my monster addiction because I can buy monsters at store and not have to worry about ordering. Speaking of shipping, anyone want Girl Scout cookies? Huh? Holy transition. Actually, not gonna lie, I've never had them. Even when I was in the US. Actually, is that really a thing? I mean, it probably is, but like, I've not even seen anything about it when I was in the US for an entire year. One day I would like to be cool enough to get a code too. Someday, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how with gamer subs at least. I definitely have no idea about the other companies. Like gamer subs is just the one that I'm most exposed to. I'm not entirely sure how easily they give out codes though. Because they did have the partnership program closed for quite a while. They only opened it recently from what I saw. Or reopened it recently, I mean. Ah, ad break. Ooh. God damn it. You know what? For those that can still hear me, I'll quickly close the blinds during the ad break, and we'll probably get something to drink, so my voice doesn't die today. Hang on, let me quickly. Burp. 3 minutes, if anyone can even read that. I'll be back. Where's the mute button? Okay, I'm back already. Just have to briefly wait for the ads to finish, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'm good to go again. Hang on, let me quickly catch up with chat. Use code MPREG for 10% more pregnant. Goddamn. My daughter's Girl Scouts have tried her cookies for some reason. Damn. I mean, it kind of reminds me actually of something we have in Germany. I'm not sure if it's a German-wide thing, to be fair, but at least where I'm from, we have something in Germany where a lot of schools participate in like a yearly. I can't remember what it's called, but basically the entire school goes on a walk, basically. But it's combined with like a, what's it called again in English? Like a fundraiser type thing. Yeah, fundraiser, yeah. Like every student is supposed to find sponsors, quote unquote, that pay a certain amount of money per kilometer that they walk. And then the entire school, in like my case at least, the school either walks 10 kilometers or 15, I think. And yeah, in the end, the students collect the money, hand it to the school, and then it gets donated to some cause. I can't even remember what causes my schools donated to actually. But it kind of just reminded me of that. That also reminded me that, like, the last one that I participated in went so horribly wrong. As in, we started walking, and just about halfway through, we had some of the worst rains in our area or in months, or something like that. Like, it was horrible. That, like, a lot of students actually just, like, uh, detach from the main group, like from the main path, to sneak around, like, through other ways to get back to the school and just claim, yeah, we ran ahead or something. Just because it was awful. Like, genuinely, I was soaked down to my underwear. Wasn't fun. But also, on the topic of gamer subs and like their flavors and stuff like that, unironically, best flavor, in my opinion, that I've tried at least so far, unfortunately, is titty milk. I refuse to elaborate, but it's good, trust. Yikes, it's not yikes. It has a funny name. But also the packaging implies that it's titty milk from a guy. So we're back to Mpreg. But no, it actually tastes good, not gonna lie. To be fair, like, I haven't. Have I bought my own flavors? I don't think I have. I've always only had samplers and stuff. But yeah, they have like some pretty unique flavor combinations and such. As I said, it's kind of a bit of a thing of whether you're into very artificial flavors. But I wouldn't even say that it's as bad as Monster. Monster sounds like pure battery. Tastes like pure battery acid, I mean. To me, at least. Not in a negative sense. They do so many fundraisers for the schools. I don't know what they use the money for. Yeah, like in our case, it got donated to specific causes. I just genuinely can't remember them anymore. Um, Based on like what my school usually supports and such, it's probably for disabled children. Like our school also had a lot of partnerships with the I don't know what they call in English, but like the schools dedicated to people with disabilities, like blind people or movement impaired people and all that. They're after the Cheetos and Mountain Dew crowd. I mean, it's working. Okay, I think I like the ones. They don't really look as shiny as I would like them to be, but I also just cannot think of a way of making them more shiny. Or like jaggedy, crystally, except for maybe. Yeah, something like that works. I buy the White Mountain. The white sugar-free monster, it's the best one. I think that's the last one that I've had in literally years. And yeah, that one was pretty good actually. I'm just not an energy drink person anymore. Also, again, something, no disposable income. Actually, I did realize off stream though, after last stream, that I need to get mods. Like, for Discord and for the Twitch chat. Because I unfortunately am human and tend to miss certain things. Or just don't have the energy to react to certain things on stream. Because yeah, I you know, not to drop names, but I really hated the fact that I only in the VOD, when I was rewatching the VOD of the last stream to make sure, like I was skipping through it to make sure the sound is fine and all of that. And you know, I don't quite understand why people think it's a good idea to make rude comments about artists that I mention in my stream in a favorable light. Or why, when I mention a company in a positive manner, why you would talk shit about them and then advertise a different company. Just to kinda meta talk for a second, yeah. My husband pays for everything, tee. Nice. Wait, someone talked shit about an artist you mentioned, so I not talked shit, but it was just a rude comment. And I don't know, it felt so off topic. Well, not off topic, but it felt so tactless. Because, like, imagine I talk on stream about how there's an artist called Artgun who actually offers a pretty decent 3D model that has, like, pretty accurate anatomy. And then while I'm saying that on stream, you decide in a public space to say, "You, not him." It's a her too, by the way, but like, yeah, I unfortunately missed that. Otherwise, it would have been bad. Nami volunteers. I don't know, I'm just pretty slow about getting new mods. Because the last and so far only moderator that I've had also made a sexual comment towards me. Got reprimanded about that from me, and then got so upsetty spaghetti that they never appeared in my chat again. And just wordlessly left at some point. Because how dare I actually disapprove of sexualization of myself? Oh well. There was some Twitter controversy. Yeah, but that's like... Firstly, I don't know about that. Second, still tactless. No, please, no more, I would die. Okay. Nah, I get that though. Like, I can barely mod myself. Nah, I get that. Like, I've been modding for 3 friends of mine. Like, 2 artists and a rigger. I'm pretty sure the Live 2D rigger is actually listening in the background. Wink wonk. Like, I've been moderating for 3 people, and yeah, I personally also feel like it's quite exhausting. Yeah, there's Alkan. Of course he's listening. And like, I already feel Like, I don't even have enough time to moderate the streams properly. Not realistic. Yeah, sure. um, and yeah, otherwise, like, I don't know. The only other time that I've heard someone recently, that I remember at least, offered to moderate for me, they offered that very quickly upon, like, being here as part of the community. And I don't know, they were around for like a week and then disappeared again. So it's like, huh? Must have been the wind. Okay, I actually really like the horns now. I can leave that like it right now. It doesn't really help, yeah. I don't know. I'll probably ask in a Discord later if anyone is interested, and then if this may be regular that's up for it. I mean, otherwise I would also be totally fine with just giving mod status to artist friends and such, even if they're only here occasionally. Just so they can click away whoever seems weird. I mean, as I said, like, it's not that I struggle with banning people and such, it's more like it takes too much additional energy sometimes, so as I said, I also just miss stuff. Like, I don't know, seeing in the VOD of last stream that someone talked negatively about someone that I'm mentioning really kind of pissed me off, but I didn't notice that on stream. But yeah, anyways. Horns look fine. Let's move to the hair. Mm. No, I think with the hair, I probably primarily just have to do the same thing I've been doing for the rest of the body. I probably should have quickly tested that off stream, not gonna lie. But I don't know, stuff like the curve shadows essentially. In place like that. I did also see that some of the other artists managed to actually do highlights pretty well using gradients in a certain way. Like if you just use there, yeah. Basically what I did on the assets. You can create highlights and stuff as well. But yeah, that shouldn't take too long, I think. Knock on wood. I hope I'm not jinxing it. Actually, I do have to quickly say, Wait, I can actually show it on stream. Like one of the references I'm using is actually by Rosebell. Funny coinkydink. But the way that she did the hair is actually so pretty, but also hella impressive. 'Cause she didn't use the halftones at all. It's all just cell shading with like a ton of hair strands. And like, you know, even though this is black, you can still, you know, there's like a tiny bit of white. You still recognize that as a highlight on the hair. Giving like all of this, like, depth, so to speak. Bro, it's so good. It is. Armpit. I'm so sad I was broke when this came out, so no. I mean, I actually saw that, like, with gamer subs, shaker cups, there's quite a market for them on eBay for like reselling and such. I just need a small loan of 2 or 3 times as much money. Like, I can't remember how much. I think like a normal shaker cup costs like 30 or something dollars without shipping, of course. But I saw like some shaker cups for triple digits, which is actually kind of insane. Something like that, limited edition, fear of missing out, yeah. Also because they do actually have some cups that they only sell on conventions, actually. Like, Praline, an artist friend of mine, has worked with them a couple of times. And I think 2 or 1 at least of her shaker cups was only sold at like a convention in the US. Like a cat girl made with you know, I have people telling me I draw perverted humongous wooba, but Jesus Christ, I am nothing compared to Praline sometimes. Like if you saw those, I swear to God. You know, if the presets come out like wait, I can't read, excuse me. If they after presets come out with like vinyl stickers of design, I would pay for that. Based. Actually, I just because of that remembered the Yoka Shaker Cup that I actually bought did actually come with a V card. I have a singular V card laying around. Good morning, Arctus looks amazing. Thank you and welcome. I know that. Jesus, I can't speak today. I know they do the limited run ones. Once they're gone, they're gone. Yeah. I mean, it's most of the creator cups, as far as I know. I think. At least I don't remember a single creator cup, like of the actual, of their creators, of a lot of VTubers. They don't ever come back, I think. And then, yeah, as I said, there seems to even be like convention exclusive cups, like one that Praline made. Hello, Lani. I mean, Velvet from Nico. They had one? I didn't see that one, actually. I did see that they had a collab with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Or at least there's like a flavor for them, or like based on the series and stuff, or like in collaboration with them. Con exclusive is so dirty. How can a broke bitch like me ever get that? Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, actually, if you're a collector, I can imagine it being pretty fucky. Fears of fear of missing out on scalpers. Bro, my fear of missing out is out there. EU shipping fees. Yeah. That's why I like would really recommend, if you want to try it, to kind of wait for one of their, like if you're European based, to wait for one of their little events where the codes instead add free shipping. Because otherwise, like, I think usually with a GamerSubs code it's 10% off. Not sponsored, by the way. It's like 10% off, which with like, I think one of the tubs or cups are like $30, so you save $3. Whereas to Europe, at least for me in Germany, shipping is about one entire cup worth. Like it's about $30 actually. So it's actually more worth it to just wait for one of the events for free shipping. Actually, I would not be surprised if they have like a little event for Valentine's Day. Use code ARC to get 0% off your next order, exactly. Also low impact. I don't know how you did, but the horns look amazing. Thank you. I actually did them just like half an hour ago. And also, like, initially was like, I have no idea how to do this. Then I just like zoned out a bit while talking, and suddenly it looked fine. Decent even. So, you know, as always, when in doubt, just disassociate for a bit. My favorite coping mechanism. Curse them for being 5-fat and not allowing people to stack counts. Yeah, that would be a little bit OP. I honestly think it's just that kind of something clicked in my brain while I was working last night about how to use these halftones. That they are basically just very soft shadows. And I think I was also just kind of overthinking it. Like looking at a lot of the references that I have again. You know, since it's a lot of different artists, a lot of them do stuff a little bit different. Like Rose, for example, stuck quite a lot to cell shading. Like she used the halftones very, very sparingly, but very efficiently. While some of the other artists, they actually use the halftones more as halftones, by the way, are like the little dot thingies. Um, some of the other artists really use the halftones as like actual shadows. So it ends up actually being more like a intermediate tone. Since like, so like for example, just like spontaneous explanation again, you're kind of limited to 4 colors it seems. So like white, pure black, pure white, pure black, light gray, dark gray. But with the halftones, you can manage to get in betweens, so to speak. And I saw some artists basically use that to, you know, expand their reservoir of perceived colors, so to speak, from 4 to a lot more. Honestly, I really wouldn't be against doing drawings like this again. That sounds like I'm trying to fish for a sponsor again. Wink wonk. But I'm actually being for real. Like, it's quite different, as I said, from what I usually draw. But it's actually pretty fun, not gonna lie. I just don't think I would quite enjoy just cell shading. At least, like, the one time that I've tried just cell shading, I didn't quite vibe with it. I did also notice, I think, for an artist, for an art streamer, I kinda yap too much. At least, like, listening back to my own VODs, I don't know a single artist that talks as much as I do, not gonna lie, except for maybe one. And I guess actually Joel too. Whenever he does his rare art streams. By Joel I mean Porcelainmate. But Joel is also kinda the master of entertainment. Is that other person Rose? I mean, true, Rose also talks quite a lot. She's also really good at, like, stream small talk and such. Boob? Boob. Also, welcome. I forgot to say welcome because of that incredible comment. That looks so fire. Thank you. Okay, not gonna lie, actually working on hair right now. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Or maybe I just finally understood how to use these halftones. Actually, at least you aren't live to D rigging the nah. Live to D is a different beast that I have zero experience in. Like, I've been seeing from Alkan, who is a live to D rigger too. Well, is a live to D rigger, I'm not one. Um, I worry about them burning out, not gonna lie, whenever it comes to hair. It looks like so much work. Never mind, you know, like, learning all of that stuff in the first place. Because I'm not sure Live to the, well, Live to the Cubism is a program, I think. It's really comparable to a lot of other softwares people tend to learn. It's like most have to learn it from complete scratch. But actually, on a different side note, I am struggling to find new music that I like. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place or know the right bands. But I swear to God, I use YouTube Music to find new music because there's like a Discover mix that tries to understand what you like. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty bad in my experience. Like YouTube Music really is working in a way where you listen to one song of like a specific genre, you like it, and that's all that YouTube Music is gonna recommend you in the future. Like YouTube Music still thinks that I'm into dubstep for some reason. Which like I don't mind dubstep on like outright. It's just that's not the kind of stuff that I usually listen to. And I don't want to use Spotify because I don't want to pay for Spotify. Or deal with the ads in the free version. But like even outside of that, I generally most of the songs that I find that I like tend to be pretty old actually. Or whenever YouTube Music does recommend me good like seemingly good music that isn't old, it's AI generated. Where it's like the beginning sounds good, and then the fucking AI wobbly vocals come in. You need to go into electro swing and jazz cafe era. I mean, jazz cafe actually sounds interesting, not gonna lie. But yeah, because of that, I recently looked into some of the really old songs that I used to listen to. And I don't know, like, I'm not usually a nostalgia person, but it was quite nice to just listen back to music from the past that was really popular or that I liked back then. Um, because I was more on like the kind of dubstep trap direction for a bit. Like I went through phases. I also had like a really extreme metal phase. And I mean, I still like the bands from there, but it's just not something that I listen to too much more, except for occasionally like Slipknot or Gojira. Or do you want to go Y2K and Nightcore? Actually, it is interesting how much more normal Nightcore is nowadays. Like, a couple of the songs on the playlist that are more recent, I noticed with them specifically that, like, I mean, like, maybe it's also like part of just like the current social media, whatchamacallit, trying to chase down a trend and stuff, that certain musicians aim for the music to be really good for TikToks and clips and stuff like that. And so they add their own, or like they publish their own Nightcore versions, or whatever you think the opposite should be called, whether that's Daycore or anti-Nightcore or whatever. Like a lot of songs that I have added in the playlist recently, like when I was looking for them to add to the playlist, I would immediately find that the musician also uploaded like slowed down, ultra slowed down, sped up, super sped up, tone shifted, like all of the different versions. Then when you listen to it, you realize, yeah, it's just Nightcore. Actually, even though I'm not really too much into anime and stuff. Well, I mean, it's not that I'm not into them, I just haven't really watched much anime and such. I was still actually into Nightcore, and I actually got made fun of for that. Like when I grew up, people would still make fun of anime and everything, so yeah. Nice art, nice booba, I follow, I look. Thank you for the compliment, for the follow, and enjoy your luck. The temptation to recommend you either the Ultra Kill or Needy Stream Overload and Enter the Gungeon OST. Ultra Kill OST, I actually can't remember right now. Needy Streamer Overload, not really for me. And Enter the Gungeon, I played that game a lot, but I can't remember the OST, not gonna lie. That kind of makes me think it wasn't too good then. I can't even remember it. Actually, speaking of Enter the Gungeon, was a little niche. True, kinda. I feel like it just never got as much attention as it deserves. And apparently for a lot of people it was too hard. Not for me though, I'm such a pro gamer. I got beaten up by the rat so many times. Don't listen to me. um, yeah, honestly, I can't remember the Ultra Kill OST at all. Like the only thing about Ultra Kill that I always remember is the Gabriel speech. Which I'm not even gonna try to imitate it right now. I would just do it a disservice. Ultra Kill OST is either super calm or else makes you want to punch a hole through the moon. I mean, it is pretty fitting with how the game has quite some apps and thingy. The machine one. Actually, I totally would play Enter the Gungeon 2 on stream if it wasn't for German internet, because there's no way in hell with all of the bullets and all of that on screen that my internet is not just... Dude, if I streamed that, I would just break the entire internet in like 100-kilometer radius. Also, Risk of Rain 2 OC slaps, true. Well, yeah, it's just kinda with not actual music to kinda talk down video game OSTs, but like actual music or normal music. I don't know. I'm really struggling to find new songs that aren't AI generated. If you want to repose a bitrate of the game, Mullet Magic has you covered. It's like playing a Maxer video. I unfortunately haven't watched a Maxer video, not gonna lie. I've heard of the guy so many times. I even had another viewer recently bring them up and ask me about them. I I have no idea what the videos are like. They are full speed neutral, ADHD brain go burr. Hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, then I can kind of imagine it being like, there's like those kind of videos for a lot of gacha games about like certain characters, and they just call the videos like the character's name.exe, and it has like the most meme riddled brain rot editing, like affectionately, kind of editing you can think of. I bet with a lot of jump cuts. I mean, I can watch those occasionally. Just not a super fan of that. I have no idea what I did with the hair down here, not gonna lie. 'Cause that just doesn't make sense in 3D, but oh well, fixed. Also, I'm very glad to say my Arcanite's Enfield addiction is finally slowing down. But I think it's primarily because I played through everything that game has to offer for now. You know, I was like one of those people saying like, I'm not too hyped about the game. I might play it a little bit when it comes out, but you know, I'm not keeping up with the development or the beta tests. I'm not too excited my ass. I'm like all the way up there with the unemployed people. Oh wait, I am. Now you can touch physical grass. Arrgh. I mean, I could. Doesn't mean I will. No, actually, the other issue, like, on a complete unironic case, I don't like going outside where I live. Like, there's just nothing. It's a pretty stereotypical German village. There's not much to do. Because it's cold and crowded. No, it's not crowded at all. I think that's the issue. If you go outside, there's no one. It's like the only people living in this village are the elderly. And that's kind of it. There's like nothing to do here. I mean, like, we do technically. We do have like a tennis club and like soccer and all that stuff, where it's like there's no one in those clubs except for the elderly. Like, for real, I used to be part of like a tennis club here, and like when I was a child, it was fine for me to play here. But for when I was a teenager, because there are just no teenagers here in tennis clubs, we actually had to drive so far away to have the practice lessons there, because they just absolutely struggled to find enough teenagers like of my age to train together. Because obviously you wouldn't train like a pubescent teenager against a child, because God forbid the teenager accidentally decks the child in the face with a tennis ball. um and yeah, like back when I played, for example, it was literally just me and two more women, like women of my age, girls, which obviously is also not that good because prepubescent boy, kinda too strong. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that nowadays, like in the tennis clubs, there is actually no one except for the elderly, and no front against them. I don't think playing against elderly people would be too fair or too fun for me. But yeah. Also, 3-minute ads. Ah. Yeah, I'll just be taking a break. Do I need to? Do I have water? I have water. Hang on, I can quickly write ads, so people know I'm not dead. I I wish you could turn off ads on Twitch, not gonna lie. I mean, like, on one hand, they are nice for like reinforcing breaks and such, which I guess is healthier for the streamer and the really dedicated viewers that actually do properly watch streams and not just treat it as second monitor content. Which I do think that like most people, I mean, I guess it also depends on category too. But I think most people, especially in the art category, tend to treat streams as second monitor content, quote unquote, where you just have it like on the side monitor, but you're not actually paying attention to it, or you maybe just don't have it open like on a monitor at all, which is what I do because I only have one monitor. Can't have second monitor content if I have no second monitor. Ugh. And I mean, like, at the end of the day, that is kind of what I myself like about streams, to just have them in the background. And it's kind of what I want to offer at the end of the day, anyways. EP. Okay, what is Twitch telling me? How much longer? 20 seconds. Ooh. Okay, I think I can continue again. But yeah. I mean, I think just like last stream, last stream or 2 streams ago, I can't remember, I already talked about you know how nowadays we're severely missing places for people to actually meet. I forgot again. I think it was tertiary places they're called. Where like, I think primary was where you work or where you live. I think secondary is where you work, and then tertiary is where you like socialize. Or you know, have hobbies, all that kind of jazz. Because to be fair, like most people, I think the average person, not to say that they don't have hobbies, but I swear to God, the amount of times that I've talked with someone, like especially when I was young, I used to try and like cold approach people quite often because I was incredibly shy. Well, I am incredibly shy, honestly. It's just I spent a lot of time when I was a teenager forcing myself into conversations to try and maybe not stop being shy, but learn how to suppress that. But the amount of times I started talking to people, and it's like you try to find some common ground, some interest, something that someone is passionate about, and there's just nothing. What are your hobbies? Watch Netflix? Bro. But I guess also to be fair, just society. As in, like, next to working, having a job and such, you're not really encouraged oftentimes to find something to do, something that brings you joy or pride. Actually, on the topic of pride, like, for example, with art, I personally started with art because I was really impressed by fan artists, how they were able to take a pre-existing world, for example, and just expand on it, even if it's just their own canon to the world, or that they can make tributes to a certain piece of media. It's just like something that I always found fascinating when I was like a non-artist. And like specifically then, there were just some characters of like the first gacha game that I ever played called Ghost Frontline, where I noticed that just some characters got so little attention, even though I really liked them, that actually kind of pushed me to start and try out art. And here I am 6 years later. 6 or 7 years later, goddammit. And like for example, for me, art was actually something really important for me to time to unfollow. I'm so sorry. uh, that shit has happened to me so many times though that I'm thinking of like 6 or 7, and then I have to like stop myself from like actually saying it out loud. I mean, I do have to say that, like, I don't find 6, 7 as a thing itself funny. I just love seeing people's reactions to it. Why that just reminded me. So I last winter, or this like yeah, last winter basically. So a couple of months ago, I was at a Christmas market for the first time with Roswell. Coinkadink, I think not. With Roswell and her husband. And we had dinner at like this one little ramen shop, like a ramen store, where you basically sat on upper floor with like a full glass wall, and you could kind of look down to like a in like a pedestrian intersection in the city that we were at. And I don't know, we were just talking when like Cody and I suddenly noticed that like a pedestrian started filming like a friend of theirs in front of a building. And then the friend actually did the 6, 7 hand thingamajiggy. And Cody and I just like bursted out laughing, not understanding why, until it finally hit us that they stood right in front of a building where the house number was 667. It was so fucking stupid, but I don't know, it was also so wholesome, so I don't know. Like, I unironically love how excited people get about fucking hearing 6, 7 nowadays. But yeah, 6, 7 aside. um, like for example, art for me personally was pretty important to find as like both a hobby, because I swear to God, otherwise I would have just absolutely gone insane during my college studies. But also because I haven't had something before where I could actually feel some sense of pride. And I honestly think it's a pretty important thing to have for like a lot of aspects in your life, to have something that you can rely on because it comes from within yourself, so to speak, as well as just having like, I guess it helps with confidence in a certain sense. Like a lot of people base their feeling of self-worth off of, how do I put it, like possessions and such, or a certain status, while finding a creative hobby that you actually spend time in to learn, and over the years kind of, okay, mastering might sound a bit pretentious, but you know, you actually feel like your hard work pays off after some time. It's like, I think it's quite important for people to have. I do also think though that that is kind of the reason why people vehemently try to defend themselves when they create quote unquote AI art, because it's one of the very few cases where they feel like they have created something, while, you know, in reality, they didn't actually create jack shit or have learned jack shit. It's just something they did create something where it's not really attributable to them, where it's like the closest they can get to a feeling of pride. I return, welcome back. I'm pretty sure I can finish today. I see you're still good, thank you. Oh, so still not sponsored. I'm sorry. It's not getting old, it's only gonna get better. A skill issue. How dare you? Mods. Tickle his balls. This is the kind of stuff where I need like a soundboard. So I can just play the little deal. Tickle too hard. Ah ja. Katzenkuchen, thank you for the follow. Wait, I think I can just iron out it. Looking good, Sensei Aku, thank you. And welcome, Aurora. Yeah, I love your art. It's pretty always a pretty art of the lovely Rosie. Thank you. Much appreciated. Trying my best to do Rose justice. I honestly think I'm almost done. Like, straight up, I just need to do this thing with the sprites on this side. Figure out what else to do with the background. And if I want to keep the little highlights on certain assets. I think I'm done actually. I'm probably gonna have to censor something for posting on Twitter. Oh, Blue Sky too, actually. I know I always only complain about Twitter, but Blue Sky isn't any better. They also actually just kinda block stuff if it's NSFW. Actually, I also just saw yesterday or 2 days ago that Peaches is actually releasing, quote unquote. It's still in like a very closed testing phase, as far as I know. Peaches being like, from what I understood, it's gonna be a Patreon competitor made by artists, specifically, for the how do I put it? The spicier materials. um, because like there's quite a lot of artists that are dissatisfied with Patreon and how seemingly randomly they tend to remove content. I know that some of the artists that I know have had issues with them, of them suddenly going, hey, this character looks too young, stuff like that. I'm honestly not too sure how well it's gonna do though. I'm really worried it's gonna end up kind of like Artful, which was like an app specifically for artists to get away, or like have an artist dedicated social media basically. And I was interested in it in the beginning until it actually released. I registered there and then realized, oh, it's all children. Or like a significant amount of the community was children. And then I immediately uninstalled the app. For a second, I thought you said children, but it's children. Yes. Unless you feel talked to when people mention children. I'm not judging. Actually, I can see how it kind of sounds like your name. Well, I have a similar issue actually sometimes when like I thought Aku would be uncommon enough for me not to have issues with it. Of course, like I can't just take Aku as an actual art's name because that's too short for most websites and such. But I actually realized that there are too many arcs where I keep thinking that people are talking to me. Like streamers and such. The community is only children. how I generally refer to my friend group. You just haven't found your crowd. Trust me, I'm a fellow loner. Loner. I can't speak today for some reason, I swear to God. No, but also I do have to, and I will keep saying that, I do have to say, it is 100 times better to be alone by yourself than to be lonely around people. Like, I've talked about before on stream how a lot of the friends that I had throughout most of my teenage years were like very insecure men, where it genuinely felt like you always have to watch your words. Saying something the wrong way is a great attack on someone's masculinity sometimes. And being gay is actually considered bad or some shit like that. And like, it was honestly pretty freeing to find friends where there's actual emotional maturity, among which like I could actually also grow more, grow better. But also recently I too, I actually lost like 2 long-term friends of mine. But I honestly don't regret leaving them behind. It really shouldn't be controversial, but cheating on your partner is not a haha oopsie. Same with thinking doing racist jokes in public is just whoopsie. I did a fucky wacky. But yeah, I mean, obviously it fucking sucks. Not gonna lie, especially losing a friend to something as like them cheating on a partner and then initially saying they don't regret it, they just regret the consequences. And then later on, them going like, yeah, my soulmate, I lost you, why don't they give me a chance? And stuff like that. It obviously absolutely sucks to lose a friend that way. Because like for real, in like that specific case that I'm referring to, like I don't recognize the person anymore. Like for real. Not to be like metaphorical or whatever, but I just don't recognize them as the person that I used to once know. Which obviously sucks, also because it's just such a, not a stupid reason, as in like to downplay what they did. But it's like, I don't know, you don't just accidentally cheat, man. Like, whoa, my underwear slipped off and I slid on the floor. And I accidentally slid right into their pussy. I mean, you know, it's not just a fuck you. Or I also, like, I've talked about before, I absolutely hate how people just don't fucking understand the concept of inhibitions and what alcohol does. Like, alcohol does not turn you into some kind of demon that has to cheat. It's lowering your inhibitions. Lowering your inhibitions means you're doing the things that you wouldn't do otherwise. Well, yeah. But like the impulse to do those things is there regardless. Or whatever. Turns on Arco stream, I accidentally slipped instant pussy. That has to be the most awful timing imaginable. I was just talking about cheating and how it's not just an accident or whatever. But you came in right on the best sentence that I could have said, I swear. Sorry. But also you're welcome. You have impeccable timing, you know that. Like, there's so much dead space of me not talking or talking about very calm topics on stream, and then here you are right on that exact sentence. But also welcome. What? My penis slipped inside of my vagina. Why does this keep happening to me? Yeah. Cheating your serious decisions semi-consciously ist so ein Upsi-Dupsi, ja. Yeah, it's an incredible time to join, I swear. But also, I'm actually almost done with the drawing. I think. I am basically just finishing up the hair. I still need to think a little bit about the backgrounds. As well as if I want to give her highlights. Her? You? It feels weird to call the character you. I hope you understand. We should give her highlights on the assets. Then I think I'm basically done. I already tested with like a second account, trying to post it to Twitter and realized, yeah, it's actually getting detected as not safe for work. Right, wait, you haven't seen it. So I already put an impromptu sensor on the drawing. It's beautiful. You know that TikTok where waiter pretends to slip, fall forward, and defrost? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's incredible, man. Oh, I think that's like something similar, just not visually. But okay, bear with me. I'm super ignorant about certain religions and stuff. But remember, there was like some kind of call show for Muslims, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But basically, it was during a time where they were fasting. And basically, someone called in and described, like, yeah, they accidentally slipped an entire shawarma with, like, and then they just describe, like, this entire meal and, like, how, like, entire meal and entire drink that they accidentally swallowed when they fell. It was so stupid, man. Because they went into, like, way too much detail as well. Wait, it's already considered NSFW? For Twitch, yeah. Twitter, I mean. Like, I tried posting it on a second account, and yeah, after like a minute it got flagged, and you couldn't see it anymore. Twitter! Ooh. I knew I could rely on the fact that the humor is just degenerate is why. It's the TikTok brain rotting. Food time, I'll be back later. Okay. Enjoy your food impact. Sounds more good for Twitch. No, for Twitch, it seems fine. I mean, I honestly at this point don't know either about Twitch. their limits. Because I thought for the longest time I got an understanding of it. Until I got a warning about drawing two women hugging. So never mind, I guess. I mean, I'm not in the sexual themes content label right now, and it seems to be fine. Or like the last streams too. I mean, there is nothing sexual about this or about two women hugging, but pfft. Twitch, I guess. No, I could for the hair. I could add like highlights on top of the braids as well. But I think that would be kinda overkill. Even on the top ones. To quote the song, "Welcome to the internet, anything your brain can think of can be found." Unfortunately true. Yeah, and I think highlights on the braids would be a bit overkill. Also, I hope the stream is not delaying too far, because my internet is like I've been keeping quiet about it, but Jesus Christ, it's dying today. I was just confused for a second until I realized what you were doing. 6-second delay. Okay, that's actually pretty fine. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, it's bad today. Has your internet been a bit better with Discord, Twitter, Arknights? For some reason, it's been slightly better with Arknights. Worse with Discord. And for stream, even worse. Like I usually stream at like 3K bitrate. My internet right now consistently wobbles underneath that. Like I'm down to 1.5 right now again. Like it keeps trying to wobble around 2.3. Even though I should, usually I would have like 7-ish. And a very unstable 7. Where like 7 is what my internet can reasonably reach. But it just decides, nah. And then, so technically speaking, even 2K bitrate is what the copper cables are supposed to supply. So like, when I talked with Telecom, they even described it as the baseline connection. So like, even if the radio connection, since I have like a hybrid router, even if the radio connection drops, I should still have 2K. I do not have 2K. Like, literally early in the stream, right when I started, Like within the first 20 minutes or something, I went down to fucking 400. And it just sat there for like a solid 5 minutes. Like, it's bad. Still using copper wire? No, we do. Genuinely, Germany uses copper wires for the internet for the most part. Because as far as I understood back then, they decided to invest into copper wire infrastructure, like strengthening it instead of adapting to optical fiber. And now here we are, 10 years later, with one of the worst internet connections, internet stabilities. You get what I mean? Like most of Europe. Probably most of the modern world, not gonna lie. Um, we figured out why Cody has been suffering. Apparently, our PCs have been sharing the same 20-year cable. Damn! So whenever I streamed, he basically had no internet because it gave me priority. Oh no. I feel like German is the new age Aussie internet. It's bad. It is pretty bad. Especially, right, I think also Rosie's in here, because she just joined. But actually, just before the stream checked, the, like, I'm with Telecom, and Telecom actually does online provide a little map of where it's supposed to have, like, the different connection speeds and such, and like where it's supposed to have optical fibers. And those fuckers are actually straight up lying and saying that my area already has full on 1 gigabit optical fiber connection. My ass, dude. Like, it's saying that for so many parts of Germany, even though, like, I'm a million% sure no one in this village, except for maybe the newest buildings that they just built, have optical fiber. I'm actually very surprised that they're not sued for that shit yet. Because it's, I don't know, that should be like misleading marketing or something like that. What is your upload speed though? The absolute max in like the contract is 10 megabits. What I actually can get is 8. What I consistently get is 4. What I get right now is 2-ish. It just dropped to 1.5 as I said that. uh, I was just streaming live. So I'm recording at the same time. And interestingly enough, with the recording, I can kind of see how much bitrate I would need to stream it out. And luckily with art, because of how little movement there is, it takes very little bitrate actually. And then on top of that, I don't know what it's called again, like adaptive bitrate or something. So when my bitrate drops, it tries to lower the resolution for everyone watching, so it can stay stable without buffering, even on the lower upload speeds at the moment. And that's why sometimes, like, it hopefully shouldn't buffer on Twitch, or like as little as possible. It should instead just really crunch up the entire screen whenever my internet dies. So, you know, once you start being able to count the pixels, that's when my internet is dying. Mine is like 34 megabytes. Okay, dude. Who else wants to flex on the poor German people? Go ahead. I'm listening. Anyone else with optical fiber wanna flex their numbers real quick? That is as I get faster using 4G mobile packet data. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Oh, actually, too, I'm not entirely sure what this is about other European countries, for example. But I was actually really surprised when I went to the US for a year. That mobile data tends to, like, the norm is to have it unlimited. While, like, in Germany, I feel like most, unless you specifically pay a lot more for an unlimited mobile contract thingy, you usually have, like, a limit of just a few gigabytes. Can confirm when the internet goes dead, I can start counting pixels. Yeah. Unreliable internet is rough. I feel your pain. Yeah. It's not fun. People with fiber can get like 1 gigabit upload too. Still have cable internet. Am I done? Except for background touches and stuff. I'm also pretty sure I'm just gonna go with the big moon. Even though there's definitely gonna be some people that will not understand that that's a moon. But big moon looks better than small moon. 506 megabits download, 71 upload. Jesus Christ. Man. I got 0.6 megabit upload. Oof. Oof. Cody crashes out biblical style about German internet. Oh no. I totally feel that though. Genuinely. It is ridiculous. Having come from a life of 800 upload, download, this is just rough. Yeah. Dude, I swear the internet in bumfuck Ohio, where I lived for so long, across 3 different families too. Like 3 different families that had very little reason to have good internet. Like they barely did anything on the internet at home. All 3 of them, middle of nowhere Ohio, surrounded by fucking I can't even remember what they planted, like pumpkins and corn. I'm so stupid. I have so much brain rot. Saying corn out loud made me think of the band. And I was just about to do the. No, I can't do that on stream right now. Never mind, it's too late. But yeah, all of them had so much better internet than I have right now, and that was like years and years ago. Like American farmers have better internet than German villages. I swear to God. Ugh. But then I can really understand Cody. Uh, brain rot. Did I miss something somewhere? I mean, I do remember Ari, actually. Let me quickly try out Ari's recommendation or suggestion. I have 1.74 megabits of upload with one bar on my phone in my basement. If I go into the basement, I'm disconnected from all of society. But yeah, like, it is unfathomable how bad the internet is in Germany. For an arguably advanced country. I'm really struggling with my words right now because I can't even say progressive because we really fucking aren't. Something you can't call vegan products just vegan and then the product name because it can confuse people and that's illegal. Eh. Basement Germany is where you age fine spirits. You probably aren't allowed to do that. There's probably some law against that. Or at least I wouldn't be surprised. What? You want to make your own? I mean, actually, that's illegal in the US too. Right? Make your own alcohol and stuff. Wait, I mean, I guess aging alcohols and stuff is fine. My dad does that in his basement PA. But Rose, if you're still there, does that mean you kinda found a bit of a fix for your internet issues? With like the cable for Cody and such? Uh, you just can't serve for the permit. I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just assume every single European basement is used to age mines, but nah. Unfortunately not. My dad's family has always made their own alcohol. Okay, I actually do think Ari's suggestion was good. To have like some of the lower feathers reaching out of the border. Other than that, I think I might be done. I mean, I could spend like, I don't know, another hour or two just adding tiny details. Although I think I've done more than enough of that during the entire process for me to find anything right now. My dad's ancestry is German, Polish, and Irish English. Damn. I kinda don't really know about my ancestry in that detail. Like for my family, due to them being Russia Germans, they're called, like even the exact details are kind of iffy for me. But from what I understood, it was basically that 18 something? Some royal person in Russia offered the German people free land, like free property and stuff. And a lot of Germans left to Russia because of that. Presumably also like my ancestors. And like literally the only thing that I could really find about my ancestry in particular is that it seemingly my ancestors went further and further east, especially during the wars, to try and get as far away as possible. Before my parents were then like the first generation that got invited back to Germany. But like because of that, like all the moving and stuff, there's like barely anything about my ancestry that I can find at all. Like we for school once had a task to create a family tree, trying to reach back like I think 3 or 4 generations, I can't remember. And I very quickly notice I'm screwed. Like I basically like after like before my grandparents, all the information that I could find was like maybe a first name, sometimes not even a last name, or sometimes not even first name. No birthday, just like a birth year, and that they were somewhere in like I don't know, Russia or Mongolia. I did some searching in Belgium, so you can make your own beer and wine. I like how suddenly make your own alcohol became a topic in this chat. Because I'm so well known for liking alcohol. I mean, that being said, Rose did manage to get me tipsy when we went to Christmas market together with her husband. So I guess I can't really say anything. My Insta report seems to change every time I log into 23andMe. They add an old again telling this past one. I mean, maybe it's like distant family members of yours or like relatives or whatever. Adding the information so it ends up being like more precise over time or something. I don't know, that kind of stuff is just also something I never looked into. Because I don't really think it's too important for me. I heard Rose Christmas market and husband, what's up? Nah, you're good. Should have been there. Nah, actually, just jokes. So, chat suddenly, like, that the topic of making your own alcohol suddenly came through, even though I'm not really known for liking alcohol. But then again, like, the first time that we hung out, you immediately managed to get me tipsy with Corey. So, not like I can actually object to any statements. Ad break again. Twitch, let me turn off the ads, please. But it was fun. It was fun. I never want anyone to think anything else. Also, I mean, like, I don't mind getting tipsy. I just really dislike once you get past the tipsy curve into drunk. Because I hate the way being drunk feels. Also because I get way too cuddly. Like, I am unfortunately one of those people that when I get too tipsy, I really need to tell my friends how much I love them. Which, I mean, it's not a bad thing. But can come off too strong sometimes. Chris is soft boy. No. Yes, I got way too chatty. I regret being too tipsy in the way of waking up to 2600 DMs. Jesus. Nah, wait. You just gave drunk Aku in the future, if I ever do drink too much again, some very bad ideas. Tipsy Aku has never before considered that I can text people. Pandora's box is opened. Oh no. A Sappy drunk, that's not bad though. I mean, true. I mean, you know, I'd rather be way too emotional and too whimsical when drunk than how most people tend to be when they're drunk. I suffer, now you must suffer too. Yay. Gee, thanks. A new power has been unleashed. Yeah, skill unlocked. Right, there should be ads. I should stop drawing. Whoopsie. Honestly, I just replied to him, so I've been procrastinating on, which is usually a lot. So it's good, but also next to Rosie has a lot to deal with. I'm, I mean, it's still net positive, right? Like, Tipsy Rosie ends up being productive in some way. Actually, I did hear of like a person from TikTok who described that they managed to basically like train themselves like Pavlovian style, where they would always clean, or like when they clean, they would always have a drink with that, like quite a significant amount of a drink, to the point that they associate drinking with cleaning, so that every single time that they get like really tipsy or drunk, their drunk self would just end up cleaning their entire apartment for like them to go to bed, wake up, and everything is clean. Not me min-maxing even my drunk time. True workaholic. Damn times. Yeah, you can just time skip cleaning. And that's why I get burnt out all the time. Uh. Okay, honestly, I think I'm just adding unnecessary details right now. Uh, Let me think. Anything I'm missing? Anything I could add to the background, because I feel like it's a little bare. Time to acquire the skill. I mean, actually, like, unironically though, if it works, it's fine. Because if you think about like a lot of how people stay motivated or how they try to trick motivation, is kinda sometimes pretty similar to like just how you would train a dog. Like the positive reinforcements of certain behaviors. I mean, I guess depending on like how pedantic you want to be, or like how loosely you apply the idea. Even something like if you get a certain amount of work done or work a certain amount of time and you get yourself a reward, that's already training yourself. The background, wait, how's the background compared to the other designs? Wait, I can quickly get out my little sheet. There. So it kind of tends to depend on whether they make the hair transparent or they work the transparency into the background. Like, for example, here with your crush, as you can see, they worked with the transparency as a reflection and as a background part. Yeah, like the character itself is mostly opaque. With the other cases, like Rosebells here, or Mackies, or I'm not entirely sure who the artist is here, but there they went with the other idea of like the hair is the transparent part, so the background tends to be very solid for the most part, but with a lot of patterns, or like with a lot of detail to the background, so it isn't like completely flat. With Rosebells too. Yeah, hair is transparent, or like the fur too. So yeah. They went with very little color in general. That says mommy. I did not realize that. Holy based. Anyways. So yeah. I guess this would already be fine. As I said, I experimented a little bit off stream with like turning it into a bit more of like a tarot card thing, like with thicker borders. I vaguely like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. You get what I mean? Or like the border's really thick and stuff. But I didn't quite like that. I love tarot cards. God damn it. Okay, yes, ma'am. The background is supposed to be a little better though. Ah, yeah. Time to draw another rose in a dark color scheme for. Nami, you cannot give me ideas like that when I'm done. How dare you? In my humble opinion, though, you've done more than plenty for fan arts. Never. I can always draw more. Wait, that's wrong. What am I doing? It can even have booty. Nami, stop. Don't give me ideas. But actually, the thing of like character from one side is from the front, and then a back view. Dude, I almost said a back shot from behind. Like one view from the front and one from the back. It's actually something that I did see too. I'm not sure if I have the reference here somewhere. But remember, for Numi, an artist called Click Draws made a design like that. Hang on, I can quickly find that. And hello, Cosmic. Give me just a second, I want to show the designer. Because it's really pretty. Also, I just like Click Draws art. Gamer subs, Una. Cup. Let me guess, she has had like 3 different cups and I'm not gonna find the right one. I gotta be real, if I were you, I'd coast it Angle next. For big G subs money, sure, but fan art, nah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing like tiny final touches. The Gamer Subs website is not loading for me. Oh, never mind, there it is. Wait, Click did that twice. I just found a different cup drawn by Click for Nimune. That has the exact same idea as the one that I'm thinking of. Wait. I would show it on stream. But you see, Twitter and their website is taking so unbearably long to load. Give it just 1 second. Hulda, thank you for the follow. Keep giving him ideas, Nami, you have good ideas. I mean, true. Why did I just hear backshot? Because I couldn't think of back view or how to say that in English. And then I almost blurted a backshot before realizing, oh wait. Maybe not the best term to use. Hang on. It's finally loaded. It's like literally 50 kilobytes and it's loading them so slowly. Hang on, it finally finished loading. So the one that I was thinking of was this one. Or like, you know, two different views of the same scene. And then actually while looking for that one, I found that for the exact same VTuber, drawn by the exact same artist, front view, back view of like the same scenario with the phone and stuff. I also think I've seen that a couple of times actually. Well, yeah, that's so cute. It really is cute. Also, like, I couldn't I couldn't find anything better, but dude, Click Draws is so good at art, man. Like, bro, there's like an entire stage scaffold thing, bro. I would have just done like random lights and just been like, yeah, I have no idea how to make this look better. And it's actually drawn by him too. Where it seems that has to be quite a lot older. It's like a older design too. Still looks really pretty though. But yeah. Ass. Yeah. Click, that's the best art, I swear. Yes. Yeah. Like, I did study his art a little bit. And dude, the way that he uses colors is really impressive. Because he manages to add like quite a lot of soft shading, like an insane amount of softness to it, without it kind of blurring into like, yeah, without blurring basically. But then also like the way that he uses color within the soft shading is so pretty and warm. But yeah, am I done? This might be like the first time in years that I'm actually sitting on stream thinking, yeah, I'm actually done. I don't have to finish something off stream. Incredible timing. Ayumi, hello. Thank you for the raid. Let me shout you out real quick. As always, please shout. It actually just came in at a perfect time. I think I'm done with this drawing, I think. I'm just kind of sitting here waiting and like showing other examples of like these Shaker Cup designs. Because I think I don't have anything to add here, I think. But yeah, anyways, I hope your stream went well. If there's any art you want to share, please feel free to. I'd love to see. We were just appreciating art anyways, so perfect timing. Yeah, as for the Raiders, I guess I just finished a mock-up Shaker Cup design. Kind of inspired by like the Gamer Subs, Advanced GG, whatever all of the names are, cup designs, Shaker Cup designs. I think I'm basically done with this one though. But yeah. I only fought against Live 2D while drawing Mesh today. Ah, okay. Well, I still hope that went well. If you want to share anything else, any of your last artworks or something with my community or the people here, please feel free to. It's kept bugging. Aw. Sad. Don't have anything new, sadly. Okay. I mean, it's also fine. If you need to go, take a break, have some rest, food, water, anything, please feel free to. Otherwise we were literally just yapping with me kinda looking over everything, being indecisive over whether I'm done or not. I also just noticed the moon and her hair thing kind of make a heart. If you really squint your eyes. Which part of the drawing would be see-through? All the pink. Like, the pink is just me having set pink. As, like, what color would be... Wait, if I turn it off. Like, what color would be inside the shaker cup? Yeah. Very eep today, so I might go lurk and prepare for bed. Yes, yes, of course. Have a good rest, please. And yeah, thanks again for the raid. But I feel like all the pink, like that's just basically me having selected that color as like what liquid is inside of the shaker cup. Of course, it can be any liquid, honestly. I don't know. I think red is like a pretty common color for them for the flavors. Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe not like that intense, but you catch my drift. Eh. Yeah. Uh, what creative flavor would she have? I mean, it would need like a name and like a flavor profile. They usually mix like 2 flavors, sometimes even 3. From what I've seen, at least. I don't know, what would her flavor be? Uh... Sweet strawberry chocolates. Yeah, I was also kind of thinking... I don't think cherry, because cherry is too intense of a flavor. Probably, yeah, like raspberry or strawberry. I'm not sure if any of them have chocolate flavor. I could have also imagined like... I'm obsessed with strawberries, yeah. I could imagine something like strawberry coconut. Oh, hello, yeah. Nice typo. But I'm not sure about the coconut part, it's just because of all the whites and so it's creamy. As for a name, dude, I am so bad with names. I don't know. Either something really cutesy wootsy, pretentious, like, I don't know, Angel's Lullaby or something. Actually, you know, that would be so good for like GamerSubs, for example. I'm not sponsored. GamerSubs, for example, does have like, I think they're called the AFK flavors, which they actually have like magnesium and like you can either select a melatonin or melatonin free version of them that are supposed to help you sleeping. That would be so perfect for one of those. Because there's already like the entire lunar symbolism and stuff. And then Angel's Lullaby would fit even more. uh, I'm obsessed with strawberries. Literally just made hot cocoa so I can have sugar. Alright! I forgot about that one. I totally make an EP flavor. Yeah. And like from what I've seen so far, the names are either like not like they have some intense nuance, or they're like really memey. Like I think one of Nomi's flavors is like kissy kissy something. I can't remember quite exactly what it was. Or like tricky wees. It was like Nile nectar or something like that. So I can only imagine like either like Angel's Lullaby or I don't know. Lunar Smooches or something like that. But yeah. Anyways, I think I'm done. Wow. Right, I do need. We do need to put a sensor on that. I'm gonna have to test on a second account if I can actually post this or if I need to make it more opaque. I need like a different sensor. Like I tried like last night with the whip. I tried adding like effects to it to see if it makes it pass the NSFW detection. Assuming I love cute shit like this, I mean it's totally valid. An angel kiss is just a sip away. Yeah, we even have the tagline of it. I still would love to try Nile Nectar. It's supposedly pretty good from what I heard. It's like nectarine and something else. Yeah, like I tried with a lot of filters to try and change it just a little bit so it gets past the NSFW detection. But it just didn't work. Like I tried everything from like chromatic aberration to sharpening to noise, and it just wasn't quite enough. So I do think I need to put some silly ass sensor right there. uh, this might be one of the few times where you can backseat. Do you just keep the bread? Or what kind of sensor could I even put there? I'm not putting Elon Musk's face on there. Even though I've seen some Japanese and Korean artists do that, I don't want his face anywhere near me. Keep bread. The board works for me. Hired a new marketing director. Damn. And Nami's already getting a job before me. Oh god. Wait, do I keep the square bread though, or do I? The square bread also sounds whack, I swear to god. I have like the full. I just realized it's gonna appear on the time lapse. Oh my god, there's just randomly the bread popping in and out of existence between the booba and the time. Oh, never. Hey. Hang on, rasterize. It's so stupid. Put a Roseberg cat on it. That was the other thing that I was thinking of, but I haven't. I could just copy paste it onto there, I guess, but nah. One day when I become rich, I'll hire a manager and a video at a time. Manifest. Soon. TM. But do I. Wait. The best part is just gonna be like. Anyone that isn't from like Germany or a German speaking country is just gonna look at it and just have no idea what this is supposed to be. Do I not have. Holy voice crack. Do I not have like a fuller version with the little hairdo at the top? I do. That's the kids show. Like, I mean, just in general, people that would even know what this thing is supposed to be. Like our. The German national treasure of a depressed loaf of bread. Yeah, soon, yes. once we have figured out German taxes. Aware. But yeah, anyways, I am done. I'm probably not gonna post it today, because after the stream, I'm just gonna go crash. No, not crash out, but I'm just gonna go crash into, I don't know, the freezer and find some ice cream, I guess. Taxes are my trigger word, I'm so sorry. Understandable though. But yeah, let me find someone to raid real quick. You know what I'm thinking? I don't even want to raid somewhere and have to socialize. Okay, that sounds pretty bad. But I'm thinking of maybe just raiding your clash real quick. I love for Swiss tax minus 10% jump tax or minus 65. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's just raid your clash. Hang on, let me open the stream and make sure I can actually raid. Or auto insult him and leave. Nah. I would never do that. There. Okay. Yeah, anyways, I'm done. Lemao. So yeah. Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out. Let me quickly... There's my socials. I will post the drawing tomorrow. I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I need to clean or fix up anything here. I think I'm basically done. Join the Discord for whenever I go live again. Thanks to Stream of the Art. No, thank you. As for raid message, I don't know. Lick them. Yeah, whatever. And yeah, thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for keeping me company. I hope you guys had fun listening to me ramble and rant about German internet. Well, yeah. That being said, I hope you have a good rest of your week. And yeah. Bye-bye.